Hi everyone. Today's vlog is dedication to my craft. The craft of vlogging. Yes, I was just crying. And I'm like, hey, I was just crying and I should vlog. Because I feel like I haven't been upset on a vlog recently. Which is so stupid. But, I'm doing this fundraiser walk for breast cancer, where breast cancer research, where you walk 300,000 steps in the month of February. Oh, my glasses are dirty. 300,000 steps in the month of February. So today I went walking in a nature preserve. It was like 60 degrees out and it's February in New England. So everything was either melted or soaked. My sneakers are like covered in mud. And I'm wearing this top, which, if you know me personally, I usually wear this when I'm camping because it's moisture wicking, it's thin, and my sleeves are long, and I like that it has these little little thumb things, whatever. But I haven't worn this shirt. There's like spots on these. I don't really care. I haven't worn this shirt in a while because it's so fucking tight. So things about breast cancer that you just didn't quite expect. I don't know. I was thinking when I was walking, and I'll come back to the shirt. When I was walking, I was thinking, you know, yeah, I'm doing this walk for breast cancer, and I still don't consider myself, like, I consider myself a patient because I'm still going, like, I just took my tamoxifen. A hot flash was just starting a little while ago. They tend to start to kick up at night, and I've not been sleeping well. I'm probably going on like 3 hours of sleep. And as a basic drop, I have backdrop, I have my next Lupron on Monday. So and today's Saturday, so 2 more days. So I tend to start to get weird stuff going on right before Lupron, but it hasn't been that bad for some, well, I know why, but I mean, there's a combination of things why just the past couple days have been, really the past 2 days, yesterday and today, have been side effect central. Not side effect, whatever, like the precursor to Lupron central. I've got some like personal stuff going on, nothing to do with the cancer, and I think the stress level is making things, I don't know, just get exacerbated more. So that was part of the reason why I went walking today. So yeah, so as I'm walking, I'm realizing that, like, I consider myself still a patient because, you know, I'm taking the meds, whatever. I mean, you have to see a doctor to take meds, and if you see a doctor, then you would be the patient. So I consider myself a patient. And then, like, I'm having the Lupron on Monday. So again, I'm a patient because I'm going in to get the shot. I'm a patient, and I had breast cancer. The reason why it popped up when I was going walking was because I wore my mask even though I was outside. Not the whole time. Again, we're still in the COVID-19 pandemic. If you're just tuning in now and it's like 5 years from now and you're wondering what I'm talking about. The pandemic seems like it's somewhat easing up, at least in Massachusetts, because vaccination rates are really high. They just announced that schools are going to be with masks. It's up to you if you want to wear a mask or not. I don't quite know how I feel about that. I'm clearly not a super big fan, especially because it's like the kids are coming all back from winter break where everyone's traveling, and then they're going to come back from all these different destinations, and then, like, you know, you come back and don't wear a mask in school. Lord knows what will happen. But anyhow, so yeah, I was walking and I had my mask, and like if I was crisscrossing people, I would just put the mask on. Again, my son is going on a big trip internationally, and actually both my sons. And I just want to make sure, like right now, that they pass their, test negative on their COVID tests. So I'm being like really diligent until they get on their planes. But I was just still like waiting because you're outside and no one said anything, but I was just like waiting for someone to say like, why are you wearing a mask if we're outside? And then I could just throw out at them like a snotty like breast cancer comment. But it's like, what would I say at this point? Like I am almost 6 months post-op for my double mastectomy. And it's like, I'm a patient, but I'm not I'm sort of kind of a breast cancer patient, but I'm also a breast cancer survivor because there's no cancer left, presumably. That's why I take the tamoxifen. So it's like, what do you call yourself? I hate labels, but it's just like, what do you call yourself? You know? And then it bothers me that I'm not like owning the I'm a breast cancer survivor thing, because clearly I'm here. I don't like to call myself like I'm a survivor. I don't know. There's just a weirdness there. Like, what am I? I'm in this club now, but like, what am I? I don't know. It's just weird. And part of it, if you can't pick up on this already, I'm buzzing, like, and it's weird because that's usually how I get after the Lupron, but I've been, like this for parts of yesterday and, parts of today too, where like my legs just start shaking really fast, whatever. And then it's great for exercise. It's a sunny day. You go outside and you walk a lot and it burns off all the energy. Well, not all, obviously it's back. So yeah, I go on my walk. It's muddy. It's nasty. You would think the sensory thing would like tone me down because usually it does. But, my crying moment before was, so I put this shirt on, happy moment this morning. I don't know if you can tell, but, look at this. I can put my hand behind my back. It hurts, but I could do it. I mean, I could do it with this arm, like no problem. But, it really hurts like back here, but, I did it, subconsciously yesterday and I was like, yeah, I can put my hand behind my back. So I feel like my frozen shoulder is like easing up a little bit. I can, I'll show you how back up. So there's my two arms. Here's my hands. They're pretty much the same height. Outward movement like this is where it still gets stuck. I'm not going to do it to my other arm because all the movement that would make me not sleep well tonight. But like, yeah, this movement I can't do. I can do, if my hand's out like this, I can, actually that kind of hurts just from the walking, I think, because it's tight, but I can go out that way. Again, left hand is fine, but the right, actually, I need to stop doing that. The right I can do with my hand out. It's if I turn my arm this way that I can't go up like I can with my left. So I'm going to stop that because it's pulling. So things I noticed today that are just in the past 15 minutes, which is why I put the camera on. So yeah, I would wear this shirt when I would camp or do outside things, whatever. It's moisture wicking. If it gets wet, it's no big deal. But I haven't worn it since surgery because it's really tight. And an interesting thing is, like, I had, oh God, I can't remember the numbers now. I think it was 616 cc's removed of breast tissue on each side. That's a lot. And the implants that they put in, and I hope I remember this right. God, it's been so long since I've talked about it. The implants are 560 cc's, I think, on each side. So there's less of an implant than there was of my breast tissue before. So you would think that, like, if I had shirts that fit before, they should fit now too. And if anything, my not right now because I just had like 5 Oreos, but my abs in general have been like pretty flat. Like I'm actually very happy that, I think it's because of the Lupron that I'm not having my periods anymore, there's no bloating, whatever. So my abs are actually like looking decent. My body, I don't recognize, because like I have these hips where I didn't have that before. And it's not even like it's fat. It's just like, that's just where they are. And it's just shaped differently. I'm not used to having like a relatively flat stomach, and I'm not used to having like hips. So it's weird. But with the shirt, what's weird, I mean, I'll sit back, I guess, but they look ginormo. They look so big. I don't know. They look so big. Seriously, the lighting, they look like ginormous. They look the size of my frigging head. It could just be the angle that I'm at right now. But I put the shirt on today, and another reason I haven't worn the shirt is because if you can see, there's a cuckoo clock every time. Oh, anyway, it's very tight up and under my armpit. I had PT on Wednesday with someone different, same place, but my normal woman that I go see is on vacation, so I went to this guy instead. And he did things differently than what she did. I was having pain in my shoulder blade, and it was like gone within like a half an hour, and I haven't had any since. But the super sensitivity in my armpit that I've had for a very long time seems like it's easing up with whatever they're, all the maneuvering they've been doing to loosen up the frozen shoulder. So like I can touch in here. I'm shaving better. Back here, like still numb and kind of tingly. It's a weird sensation. The numbness is actually why I was crying earlier, not in my armpit here. So it's a good thing that I'm able to put this shirt on because it rides up so high. Because if you've been watching the vlogs, I've been wearing shirts that are more baggy in here so that they don't go up to my armpit, just because my nerve endings are like bah in that area. So that was exciting. And I put it on, and my boobs feel like very constricted and heavy today. I don't know why. I don't think we're getting bad weather. I don't even know. But so, yeah, so there's a weird disclaimer that I guess you would think that if you're going down in CCs, that like your boobs would be smaller. But before, like my boobs were 50-year-old boob or 49-year-old boobs. And now they're implants. So they're more when you talk about different kinds of implants, I think this will be another vlog someday, but they talk about like I think the profile of the implant, because there's so many different ones to pick from. They don't really do saline implants anymore. There's a lot of problems with saline implants. So they're pretty much all silicone now because they last longer, less issues with them. They don't leak, that kind of stuff. But like the shape, they talk about like gummy bear shape and like teardrop shape and whatever. So I know the kind that I have. I can look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head. There's just so many things to remember. But I know that it said like it was like medium profile. So, and my boobs before, again, were 49 years old. They weren't really medium profile. And with the way my tumor was, like, if anything, they looked, especially my right side, looked more indented almost, almost like concave, which was weird. And again, I just thought that was because I was getting older. And I still don't know if that's, like, how the cancer visually manifested itself for me, that it looked concave. It almost looked like it was like a scoop out of my boob. And it certainly doesn't look like that now. So it's something to get used to. And I guess people that want bigger boobs would be like, oh, hooray, hurrah. If you have bigger boobs in the first place, you know that like, big boobs are heavy. They bother your back. Like, I wasn't looking to go bigger in any way. I said I wanted my boobs to pretty much be what they were before. If you had to go a little bit smaller, then that was fun. I definitely didn't want to go any bigger. Before the surgery, I was well, it's funny because I was a C cup for a very, since out of high school. For a time I was a D cup. But then they started getting saggy, and I don't know if that was because of the malformation from the tumor. I don't know. But anyway, so I haven't even, I don't think I tried on a bra like that's underwire, like my old bras. The bralettes that I bought before, that are like XLs, too small. They have a seam that goes like here. And I noticed that with the, this is a good thing to know too, the seam that goes here, and I think I wore one of those bralettes actually in a video, it was gray. It worked at the time, like before, I think when I had my biopsies done. Again, they were more moldable, my boobs back then. But now if I take that off and it creeps up, I get a line here and then it causes rippling, and we don't want rippling. It goes away, like the rippling. But if I have that seam that goes along here, I'll notice that I can feel the bottom of the implant, which is like not ideal. So I'm not getting rid of those bras. I'm putting them to the side because I know that these still have settling to do. So I'm not really getting rid of a lot. I'm just like making a pile of, well, I did get rid of a bit, but I'm making a pile of stuff that doesn't fit now that like maybe it'll fit down the road, because I don't know when these are like done, you know, what things will look like. So anyway, so the bra that I'm wearing right now, because I was walking, you know, it's this very sexy sports bra, but it's front zippered, and it's like a ridiculous amount of X's. I don't remember. Maybe it's a double XL. I don't know. I bought it as a post-surgical bra, and it was too big for a time. But I've been putting them in the dryer, so they shrunk a little bit, and now they fit pretty well as sports bras to keep me in. There's not really a big you know, like those little things that insert whatever. It's not like that's super thick or anything, but it's tight. It's tight. And I guess like what's so weird is that like I would think my CCs are smaller, so my boobs should be smaller. So like if my boobs are smaller and I go put a shirt on like this, then like it should fit me like it used to. If anything, I should look flatter, and I don't. And I think like, you know, considering yes, the CCs are a smaller number, but the profile is wider. And I mean, I feel like this is some like weird dating app thing or something, but you can see, like from the side, I don't know if you can tell too much. Here, let's pose. My hair did look good earlier, but like I said, I was walking today. The profile, like it, you know, the way it's rounded, I guess is what the different part of what the different implants are like. But there's a lot of pressure right now because they are up, you know, they're higher than my old ones were, and they're not saggy and they stick out more. So I go put this thing on and I'm like, whew, I mean, Jesus, look at that. It's crazy. And I don't know. I mean, like, I guess if I were in a different headspace right now, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But it's tight. And like, I still have a thing where like, I don't want stuff touching them. I don't want tight shirts. You know, today they need support. Sometimes I feel more comfortable when I'm not wearing a bra. But why I was crying earlier, and another thing that like I didn't realize would happen. I mean, they told me before I went into surgery that it would happen. It's the lack of feeling. Like for some people, it comes back. You know, they do a shit ton of cutting into stuff and, you know, breaking nerve endings and all sorts of stuff. But the reality is, like, you know, you can feel up to a certain point, and then, like, you get to the implant around here, and I can't even think of an analogy of what it feels like. But, like, you know, it's obviously not my boob there. I can feel it. It's an implant. It's not my boob. And what I was doing before, I don't know why, is, like, I did my nails, and I was taking my nail and, like, just poking, and I can't feel it. And when they talk about, like, when they talk about having a double mastectomy and having it be similar to, like, amputees because you're having your breasts amputated, you know, it's what I remember, because I can go in here, like I can feel this, but here, nothing. I feel nothing. And I'm not jumping to any conclusions about anything, because I know that some people get their feeling back, and if you, not massage, I don't want to massage, but like, you know, the touching, whatever. I have more feeling in my left side than I do in my right. I don't really know why that is. I've been sleeping on my left side. Maybe I should start sleeping on my right side. I don't know. I don't know if it's because like they did more work on my right side, because the right side had 2 malignant tumors, and the left was benign, even though it was like lobular carcinoma, but they don't consider that to be malignant, which I still don't quite understand, but that's what like is weirding me out, that I wouldn't think of. It's like, I can't feel my poop, and it sucks. Like, my scars are getting lighter, and what I love is that like I have a beauty mark, and because they like I have the skin there, my beauty mark is still there, so it reminds me that like it's still my body, it's still my skin. It's just the stuff underneath it that's not mine, and like, how would anyone know? I don't know. Like, how would anyone know that they're fake? Because they're really perky for a 50-year-old woman. I don't know. Sorry, that was gross. Yeah, just the things that I didn't expect after surgery, and it's like 6 months. Like, it's a long time. And I guess I'm getting more back to just trying to be normal, and then like these things just pop up. And I'm like, oh, you know, like I'll round a corner quickly or something and like scrape my boob up against the wall, and it doesn't hurt because I can't feel it. And that's just a weird feeling if you bang into something, but like it should hurt, but it doesn't hurt because you can't feel it. You know, will that change after I have nipples put on? I don't know. One thing I am curious about, like getting really curious about, because my follow-up with plastics is in April. So right now we're 2 days away from Valentine's Day. So mid-February, I go back to the gynecologist in March, and I go back to plastics in April. And at that appointment in April is when we start, I don't know if I have to have a decision made by then, but it's when we start the conversation about nipples. Like, you know, do I want to have none? Do I want to have them tattooed? Do I want, you know, they have like texturing tattoo. They're like 3D tattoos. They can take your skin and they can like bunch it, or if I go like that, like bunch it and then twist it and like make it into a nipple. I don't know. There are definitely perks when you're clothed to not having nipples. Cause like I go outside and I never have to worry about if it's cold out. I can wear so much more clothes without a bra on and never have to worry about the temperature. You know, there's something to be said about that. But I don't know if I can go the rest of my life without like visually having a nipple on there. So I truly don't know what I'm going to do. And if, like, those of you that are out that are watching and are breast cancer survivors, you know, I am very curious about, like, your experiences with, you know, did they make an artificial nipple with your own skin? You know, did you have pros and cons? You know, did you have the tattooing done? Pros and cons. I do know I've heard that with the tattooing, you have to go back, you know, every so often to have it touched up, which makes sense. Because tattoos fade over time, and these would too. The nurse at plastics, the last time I was there, like she was so happy with how they looked. And that was a while ago now. My scars are much lighter. I mean, they're still pretty red. I'm not going to show them to you. I had that one picture that I put up. That got pulled down from Facebook and from Instagram, and it was such a classy picture. But I'm not putting it back up again. I'm not. Sorry. Saving these for someone special. Yeah. But anyway, she You know, my scars have lightened up a lot since I was at plastics last time. Not as much as I would have liked to, but again, I'm not the most patient person apparently with this whole process. And, you know, she could picture what they're going to look like when they're done. And I just can't obviously see it because I haven't done this before. She's done this, you know, however many times. So she's like, you know, you're going to look so, or feel so different once the nipples are on there, because in your eyes obviously get drawn to the nipple and not to the scar. So it'll be interesting. And the rippling, like, I'm more aware now of like what I do that causes the rippling, or, you know, how I lay or whatever, but it goes away, which is interesting. I don't get the, you know, the architecture behind that of like, you know, I can feel the rippling under, it's mostly in the same spot under here. And I swear, even though they said like when I dropped my phone on my boob like months ago that like nothing happened, I still think that there's something not right, because when I like lean forward, it's a weird position to go in, but I can almost see like a little line here, like the side of my phone. Who knows? The right side is much more just round and easier. My left side, I don't know why, like even in the middle, like where my cleavage would be, it's still like super sensitive on the inside. I definitely have feeling there, like where the scar ends. And I know that it's an option to do fat grafting, but the more I learn from people that have had fat grafting done, you know, sometimes it takes and sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, they're taking it from one spot, which seems like liposuction, woohoo. But I've heard not great things from a lot of people, and they've had to do it like over and over and over again. I don't really know how much I want to do all that to myself, but again, not something I have to think about right now. I did learn, and I don't know if it's a Massachusetts thing. No, it's a federal thing. I did learn it's a federal thing that if you have to go in to have the like tweaked plastic surgery wise as a breast cancer survivor, insurance has to cover it federally, like it's a law that if you're a breast cancer survivor and have had reconstruction or whatever, like if you need several surgeries, it has to be covered under your health insurance. So, fun fact. Yeah, so that's where I am. I just, I don't know why, I was crying and I'm like, oh, let me vlog. I haven't cried and vlogged in a while. Yeah, just, I don't even know what to name this. Things that you didn't expect. I don't know. The numbness is just weird. It's just weird. It just feels weird. I always think of like water balloons, like as an analogy, but it's just so weird. Like on this side, how I'm not really showing a lot. My boob is mostly down here, but like on this side, like I can feel so much. And like here, especially towards the middle, like I can feel a lot. And it's just like on the right side, maybe because I've just been more careful with the right side and all the drama with my shoulder and stuff. But like here, nothing. I'm not going to pinch it, but like if I were to, I wouldn't be able to feel it. And it's just weird. Just weird. I mean, I'm glad I'm more comfortable like just touching them, because for a while I didn't want to. I'm also lucky because I know that there's some women, like while we're, you know, getting into specifics here, there's some women, well, I can do it like this, that like mine are pretty, I mean, granted I have a sports bra on underneath, but there's some women that like, they're all like skin and bone here and their boob just like juts out. And then they end up having fat grafting in here just to make it a more subtle, like slope down. And I don't really have that so much. Like I have pictures of my own, you know, the old boobs before surgery that I took. And it really was no different with like just how things fell that way. So yeah, I'm not gonna like get fat grafting up here unless something changes. But I am noticing too that the more I can use my right arm, it is still softening up here. Like here is pretty softened up. I sleep, like I said, mostly on my left side. I actually caught myself last night. I woke up and I was laying on my right side. That's the first time I've done that since all this stuff started. since July, and now it's February. And I was so like, like I just got up. It's not like something hurt. I just don't want to sleep on my shoulder to make anything worse. But it was just weird that like I just inadvertently slept on my right side. And I honestly don't even remember, like, as a lifestyle thing, if I normally slept on my left or right side. Isn't that weird? Like, I'm 50 years old and I can't remember which side I usually slept on. No idea. I know I was mostly a stomach sleeper, and I still have yet to lay on my stomach. I take that back. I laid on my stomach once at PT for like a blip of a second. They're like, oh, let's try that. And I tried it, and I was like, nope, not doing that. It hurt too much. So, like on a table at PT, it's different. On a bed, obviously, you have more cushioning. So, but I've not laid on my stomach since everything happened. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. You know, weird things you don't expect. Other weird things too, I don't know if it's the lack of hormones or if it's the medication, but my hair is normally like crazy thick anyway, but I do notice that like my eyebrow hairs are thinner. I've heard with tamoxifen it can make your it can make hair fall out. If it's falling out of like my head, I have super thick hair, so I'm not noticing really much of a difference. Or even the shower, I'm not noticing much of a difference. Where I notice it is my eyebrow hair, and where I also notice it is my legs. Because it's like winter time, so like I'm not shaving my legs every day, but like I shaved my legs yesterday and hadn't. And almost a week and there was hardly anything there, which was weird. But that's, again, I'm pretty sure it's the tamoxifen that's a side effect from, that you can have, some hair loss. And I think that's a hormonal thing. I don't know. All right, so that's where I am. 2 more days and then it's Valentine's Day. I've already bought myself some chocolates. And I'm just doing more like normal things. I finally took down all my Christmas decorations because I can't pick up the bins, like they're just too heavy. I can pick up the empty ones, but once they're full, I've been asking my son to put them away because they're just too heavy for me to lift and put them back where they go. But I've been moving stuff around, and like today I wiped off a counter and I was reaching pretty far out to do that. And I was like, oh, look what I can do. So it was cool that I could reach that far, though it started to hurt. And the more that I use it, like it's 8:30 at night right now. So it starts to get tight here if I'm doing too much. So I just have to be careful. I think that's it. I have not been doing my PT exercises during the week outside of PT. I've noticed that time-wise, I guess, with the frozen shoulder, it seems like my shoulder wants a break. Wednesday was a really good day at PT. Again, today's Saturday. So Thursday, Friday, so 3 days ago. But I haven't been doing my exercises at home. I've been doing NIA, N-I-A. You can Google to see what that is. I've been doing that once a week, and I've been doing PT once a week. In another week, I'll go back to twice a week. And then I have to also reach out to get clearance about having the steroid injection into my shoulder. It seems like everyone's telling me, doctor-wise is telling me that they think it would help me ginormously. So they do an ultrasound guided injection right into my shoulder, and that should loosen things up. And then once things are loosened up, then they can go more in and maneuver my shoulder to break up the encapsulation, I guess, or whatever it is. And then up the PT to twice a week, while I am not in pain. If they were to do that stuff now, it would just be too much pain. The thing is, I have to contact a couple of doctors before I have the injection to make sure that I have clearance to do that. And I haven't reached out to them yet because I'm kind of sick of dealing with doctors. So, yeah. So Lupron on Monday in 2 days. That will be my 5th Lupron. And then I think that's it for a bit. I don't know. But just wanted to fill you all in. And I'm going to now take this off and put on a t-shirt that is not so form-fitting. And, yeah, so those of you that are watching, you know, I'm curious about your experience with the whole nipple reconstruction or not thing. I know it varies per person, but I'm curious to hear the stories behind them. I want to thank everyone that has donated to the 300K fundraiser for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. It's awesome, and I was a third of the way. I hit like 101,000 steps yesterday, and today I think I walked about 8,000. I'm not quite sure. I haven't checked on my Halo yet. But I walked for an hour outside the nature preserve, so I don't know. We'll see. All right. Hope you're doing well. Happy Valentine's Day. Early. So much has changed in a year. Last Valentine's Day, I won an Alliance for Community Media Northeast Award for my talk show. Like, didn't even know I had cancer happening at the same, you know, time, and no idea. Things can change in the blink of an eye. So live life to its fullest. Live life to its fullest. Be happy. Life is a crazy adventure. You gotta live it with no restriction and go balls out. See you next time.